Our planet is home to an unbelievable amount of trees, shrubs, herbs and plants all around us. They vary in characteristics and accordingly of negative or positive usage for animals in general and humans in particular. It's estimated that about 400,000 different types of plants are known to present-day science. Despite large numbers, names of very few plants may be just 10 to 15 plants that are remembered by the common individuals. Today we'll explore the strangest tree and plant species that are considered to be bizarre due to some peculiar reasons. But before we get started, be sure to click the like button, subscribe and click the notification bell for more amazing content. The corpse flower. Even the name of this flower sounds alarming. The corpse flower, also known as Arum, reeks and allegedly it smells like a rotting dead body. It also appears to have come from some other planet as it's humongous, and despite the pungent smell, it seems astonishing. It uses its rotting meat-like odor to keep predators at bay and to protect it from being eaten. Despite having an effective defense mechanism, Arum is a rare and threatened species. It's found in the forests of Sumatra Island, Indonesia. Surprisingly, it's made of thousands of tiny male and female flowers instead of a single flower. Its flowers discharge oil, whereas the large spire in the center collects heat. Resultingly, it's the hot oil that creates the stench of a corpse that attracts beetles for pollination. Due to its huge size, an adult plant can easily weigh up to 200 pounds. Elephant Foot Yam. The scientific community knows it by the name of Amorphophallus pyonifolius, whereas common people call it the elephant foot yam. It also smells like a rotting corpse and is known to be a close cousin of the corpse flower. It can have multiple colours varying from white to purple and brown. Unlike the corpse flower, it is edible and is also considered a delicacy in one South Asian culture, but several people know it as the food of last resort only. The yam grows underground, whereas the flower grows straight upward above the ground. Reflecia. Rafflesia is another stinking flower found in Indonesia and is unique, being the single largest flower in the world. Strangely, it doesn't have roots, stems or leaves. Some people relate it to a fungus. It's extremely difficult to find in the wild. At the initial stage, Reflecia is inconspicuous parasitic tissue found on the vines in the rainforests of Indonesia. Consequently, it turns into a tiny bud, and within the next few days it grows exponentially and becomes a familiar stinking plant. The hole in the middle is so spacious that a human head can be fitted in it. Venus flytrap. A lot of young kids are quite fascinated by the Venus flytrap. When other plants soak in the sun and are busy with photosynthesis, Venus flytrap prefers to snap up the little insects. It seems to be an alien, but it's found in the marshy areas of Carolina where the soil is very weak in nutrients. Probably this is the reason why the flytrap preys on insects high in nitrogen content. Its little mouth or trap has tiny trigger hairs that feel the movement of any little object getting into it, and immediately the trapdoors are closed. Astonishingly, its heads can exchange chemical messages and can pass information about the prey. When the prey is held in their clutches, their digestive juices effectively break down its body. Bleeding tooth plant. Due to the strange appearance, the bleeding tooth plant seems straight out of a horror movie. It's a type of fungus and hails from the Pacific Northwest. This unusual mushroom gets its name from its pale white flesh, having deep red spores that secrete out a thick red fluid. Be careful while handling this scary fungus, as when you turn it over, you'll find its base studded with small spines. However, this plant is not dangerous. Rather, it offers some health benefits for humans who can dare to consume it. While the young plants appear ghastly, on maturing they become more brown and shriveled in appearance. Its sanguine substance is actually a type of sap that's expelled out of the mushroom due to excessive absorption of water. The bleeding tooth plant can be found in the different temperaments all over the globe, from the Middle East to North America, as well as certain areas of Korea. These plants prefer to hide among the moss and other shading parts of the forest. Tropical pitcher plants. These plants look nice and collect water during heavy rainfall. You can find these in Sumatra, Borneo or Indonesia, and the Philippines. Scientists know about 150 species of this plant. The tropical pitcher plant can eat anything that happens to get inside its pouch, which possesses a coating of sticky sap that ensures nothing goes out after entering the pitcher. Their favorite foods include termites, spiders, worms and even lizards, but small insects seem to be the preferred meal. Each pitcher plant has a unique relationship with the ecosystem that they inhabit. One has to host a colony of carpenter ants that clean off the carcasses of the plant's larger prey. Some species are able to function as toilets of small shrews by providing them with a special sweet exudate. The plants use the shrew poo as the source of nitrogen. Cape Sundew. Cape Sundew is also known as Drosera capensis and is native to South Africa. It's an incredible carnivorous plant. Cape Sundew's arms and leaves are coated with a sticky sap that holds any insect landing on them. It resembles a glue trap laid outside a house. When the plant realizes that the insect has landed, it commences wrapping its large arms around the victim. The process is very slow and may take up to half an hour, but the bug cannot escape. The Cape Sundew is unbelievably invasive as it can reproduce and survive on all types of climate and weather, although it can handle pests, but it itself can also be a pest. Strangler Fig. Strangler Fig is believed to be the largest on the earth to the extent that it kills the plants around it. The plant has numerous species, but they all act alike and look attractive. It can grow all around, upwards, down or sideways. They rob the roots of neighboring plants or nutrients and finally kill them. Initially, it grows upwards to get sunlight and then extends downward to assault the roots and behave pretty brutally. Strangler Fig can conveniently outlive their host trees for years. Witch's butter. This plant is also renowned as the Tremella mesenterica. It's an attractive fungus that can even be eaten. In some regions, it's also known as Yelthy lowbrain and golden jelly fungus. Irrespective of the name, it's a unique species as it can reproduce both sexually and asexually. Witch's butter is tasteless, and it's also being studied for its incredible biological process. So far, no information is available on its nutritional value. It grows on dead trees and is found on every continent and is found to be parasitic on other fungi. Hammer orchid. Hammer orchid, or Dracaea glyptodon, is found in Australia. Its pollination process is quite surprising and peculiar. It appears to have a little dangly object with a blackish protruding part on its top. It mimics a female wasp's body. What's the secret behind this mimicry? The female thymidine wasp just cannot fly. Therefore, they resort to climbing the top of the plants for signaling and attracting the male wasps, as the males are capable of flying and they pick up the females off the plants for mating. Hence, when the male wasp strikes the protruding part of the hammer orchid, its feet are pitched into the mass of pollens. This fooling drama continues and helps in pollination when the male wasp reaches the other appendage, resembling a female wasp. Wolfia ariza. Wolfia ariza is the smallest flowering plant on the planet. Any reduction in its size will turn it to be a microscopic plant. Its reproduction is so fast that if you leave a few plants on the table, after a couple of hours you may find hundreds of Wolfia ariza there. It is without leaves, stem or roots. It's an incredibly unique plant. At times, they may have a tiny flower with a stem and one pistil. It's typically found in the ponds and rivers of North Africa, Europe and some regions of Asia. It's more commonly known as duckweed and has several species, but they all remain on the top of the water, being their weight too light to sink. They are extremely easy to collect from the water and hence form a good snack for humans and animals alike. It has immense nutritional value and it possesses 40% protein. Lithops. For ensuring their survival, different plants have developed different defense mechanisms. Some stink and others are poisonous. However, lithops have a simpler method as they pretend to be a rock. Lithops have dozens of species and each one imitates a specific rock. All these species exist in South Africa and during drought they may shrink down below the surface, leaving behind only a translucent top for collecting light, which manages its survival through the dirt and gravel. While collecting small rocks in an area, perhaps you may be gathering lithops instead of stones. They can be domesticated and require extra care and tender love. Under the right conditions, lithops can sprout into pretty-looking little yellow or white flowers resembling a common daisy. Victoria amazonica. Most people would have seen water lilies at least once in their life, as these are hard to miss being so pretty. Victoria amazonica is the most prominent species, having a massive growth of up to 3 meters long. Its edges bend upwards to avoid overlapping with neighboring gigantic water lilies, and also grow thorns on the undersides for protecting themselves from being eaten by some aquatic animals or plants underwater. A mature lily pad can hold a weight of up to 100 pounds provided it's evenly distributed. It has enough strength to support a weight of a minor child. These immensely overgrown lilies also have white fragrant flowers that are visible only at night. The flowers are used to trap beetles, cover them in pollen, and subsequently release them after a few hours so they can pollinate another lily. The flowers start shrinking as the sun rises, and by daybreak they are completely closed. Strangely, something so big is so equally shy. Hinora. Someone hiking in South Africa may run into a strange plant that looks like a sinister sci-fi movie creature. Well, this plant is known as Hinora, which completely grows underground but only exposes its flowers above the surface. The flower is shaped to enhance the efficiency of its bristles for directing beetles into the middle. The way this plant lures beetles into its mouth is incredible. The plant smells like poop, and beetles feel an affinity for it, particularly dung beetles. It doesn't eat the beetles, rather it closes them down as if keeping them hostage for some time and covering their body with pollen. At the right time, the hostage is released in the hope that it would find a Hinora having the opposite sex. On completion of the pollination process, Hinora will bear a fruit having a similar taste and texture to that of a potato. Dragon Arum. It's a gorgeous plant and grows in beautiful localities of Greece, Crete and Aegean Sea islands. The dragon arum can attain a height of up to a yard, and its flower is famous for its deep red appearance. Most surprisingly, they release a unique odor that can be smelled from miles away. However, it's not a bad one like a corpse flower. It smells more like dung and is native to southern Europe as opposed to Southeast Asia, where the corpse flower is found. The dragon arum grows around ponds, rivers and rainforests. They display a humid temperament which enhances their odor. On blooming, its stench does stay for more than 3 days. Anyone wishing to grow dragon arum must use gloves, as it is very toxic. We hope you guys enjoyed learning about the different facets of nature presented in this video. For more amazing and informative content, do give us a thumbs up and subscribe to our channel. Stay blessed and happy. Goodbye till next time.